what he's doing. He's glaring at me because I'm so cringy. What? Here.
So then I have to put this mic on and blast everyone's ears?
Yeah.
Good enough. Whoa, you're close.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna knock over. That's how much I like filled up out of all those boxes. You missed me unpacking. I was gonna just rant and unpack.
Wait, where'd all the packages go?
Everywhere. As I was looking, I didn't find an invoice for one. So
Baldur's Gate?
Yeah,
it's usually on the outside of the box with
I know.
them.
I didn't see any on the
weird.
outside of the box. So, yeah. I hate Pokemon.
What is that?
This is what happens. This is what happens. So, remember the whole debacle of not being able to get 151s and distributors cut me like crazy and yeah. I couldn't get enough for the pre-orders, and now all of a sudden, here it all is. It miraculously appears every time with Pokemon. I'm done with them. I'm done with Pokemon.
That's just ridiculous.
I think that Pokemon is in worse shape than Magic the Gathering because they cannot get their supply issues under control of how they release their product. This is what happens every stinking time. It wasn't even this. Look how horrible the prices for like Obsidian Flames and Paladin Evolved are. I could not get boxes when people wanted them, and now that no one wants them, then distributors are begging me to take stuff, and again, it causes this vicious cycle because the only way I can get stuff at the release date or kind of the pre-release date the equivalent to WPN stores for Pokemon Play or whatever they call it, is if I buy a lot of regular in-stock stuff. But by the time it actually comes available, nobody wants it because Pokemon has a massive problem with how they're distributing their stuff. They need to go away from the big box store model if they want to have their little organized play, because it's just another big name that is not really competing in the game store market for allowing stores to actually make decent profit margins. So I don't know what to do. You have a customer up there? Might be a customer. Yep, we do. Of course, every time when we start a video, that's what happens, but I'll kind of rant and talk. So yeah, this is the Pokemon 151 Ultra Premium Collections that I just got in. These are super, super rare. Unfortunately, guys, this is what happens. I know like everyone always complains about their stuff not being quote unquote sealed. This is why I don't like to guarantee that product comes in sealed. This is typically how Pokemon product comes in, where you'll have little scuffs and they don't do a good job like packaging the plastic wrap on Pokemon, so it comes split. You know, this Flesh and Blood playmat came in all you know, damaged up with how the distributor packed it pretty good. It's just like USPS and UPS, they throw packages around. There's just really no way around it. So again, I apologize for stuff that sometimes come in. This is why I don't like selling sealed product, because this is typical. So I'm not gonna be able to sell this, I don't think, as sealed. But this is actually an interesting product because this is actually one of the 151s that is doing quite well. When I checked yesterday on TCU Player, the cheapest one was going for like 150. So that's pretty good margins that for these. What are these called? Mini tins? But these suckers have crashed pretty bad. I don't even know if I have any faith in the UPCs from Pokemon 151. I know everyone's loving the set where it's got a lot of nostalgic cards, but I don't know. There's so many products I've seen too with these other, you know, big Pokemon channels that find stuff from like Costco exclusive or all these exclusive things that hope you guys can't hear that dog in the background. They're making Chinese food downstairs. So the dogs are screaming while they meet their end of their fate. Anyway, so where are we going with this? Yeah, so Pokemon, it's just frustrating. This is what you deal with at the local game store. Beg, and then get flooded with stuff when it is no longer relevant. This is a lot of these boxes today. You missed me, of course, unboxing and like filling these things up with packing material, but the first wave of all the Halloween sale came in, so we got in a lot of neat stuff here. The best seller so far is definitely going to be the Baldur's Gates. So I have a bunch of cases of Baldur's Gates going out. There is a really cheap price at $63 a box. I think that is a steal of a deal. There's some other neat little products that are coming in at a good deal, like these Modern Horizons set boosters. I think is around like $170 for a set booster after all the fees and everything that I pay for. So I think that's a pretty neat one too. That's still like the $1 million question. I know I sound like a broken record on this channel when I talk about these products, is like, oh, I don't know if we're ever going to see these prices again in Magic if they do recover. So if they do recover, we might look back on this time period just really kick ourselves for not going even higher to these stuff. But I mean, it's still very worrisome that this amount of supply still exists for things like set boosters from Modern Horizons that should be pretty scarce by this point. And same thing with even like collector's boosters, that this is still the all-time cheapest that we've been able to pick up, like things like Crimson Vow or Brothers War Collectors. Like these are the cheapest ones. And this was a really good selling set too. And that's the biggest problem with Magic the Gathering is I don't even think that, like, people will talk about how bad Magic is right now. I would disagree with that. The biggest problem with Magic is just the overprinting. That is it. Yeah, there is, well, okay, I'm not being quite honest there because there's a lot of problems with Magic the Gathering, but the biggest one that is stopping the really health of the market is the overprinting. Is you can see with knockout sets like Lord of the Rings that, you know, broke records, or Brothers War that actually this sucker sold in, I would say, top 5 of all standard sets of all time. We've had like Kamigawa, it was a massive seller. We had Brothers War, we had Phyrexia All We Won. Like some of these sets were stinkers like Crimson Vow, but they weren't like horrible in the scope of things. Like I'd like to compare numbers of Crimson Vow with something like Amonkhet or Hour of Devastation or Ixalan or Rivals of Ixalan during those eras. But you know, the biggest problem with this time period though is just Wizards of the Coast went insane levels of overprinting. And again, that is my problem now that I'm having with Pokemon is they have not stopped there. And this like it's just such a horrible scenario for game stores, because when we can sell things, there's no supply, and then, you know, they expect the stores to pick up the slack and just start, you know, picking things up when everyone is shopped elsewhere, because they did, you know, fill up all the box stores and all the Costco's and all that way for people to get their stuff, and now we're just overloaded with stuff. So pretty upset with Pokemon too, because Crown Zenith just got another reprinting. So I passed on it. So Crown Zenith, which is now down below $4 a pack, which is a premium price you actually pay for Crown Zenith. It is like a kind of 151 pricing because this was a specialty set too, has now had the mini tins reprinted. So it's just like, I thought that when Pokemon announced their hiatus of reprints, and it's weird because they haven't like touched things like Evolving Skies, which you'd think they would reprint Evolving Skies, but then they which is a smart move. I think that they need to renew kind of the faith in the Pokemon market that, you know, Pokemon can still be collectible, because back to a good old rootster, you can't call something collectible and then print it to, you know, over demand. Not even print it to demand, but print it to over demand. So you have to kind of pick and choose what kind of game you want to be with where your products are, you know, affordable, accessible, and collectible. And it's a very, very tight line to walk with stuff. So kind of crazy how Pokemon just seems to be endless of supply. So Boulder's got some new cool things. I guess we'll kind of showcase some stuff that has come in lately. Boulder's got these new solid colors. I've not tried the solid colors. I know they're not the Return to the Earth, so they're going to be the same material as these clear ones. But yeah, we'll have to give these suckers a review. And in the next couple of days, we'll have the Bastions from Gamegenic that I can kind of compare and contrast to the Boulder. So I do want to do a video. I've got a lot of stuff building up. You can see my pile of stuff I need to do videos with, what I want to review, like some of the new Dragon Shield sleeves that came out. And we got some Doctor Who boxes that I need to be opening up for a patron for a video. So a lot of things still going on. Really busy here at the store. You can see it's kind of a disaster back here, as I have a lot of stuff to ship out. So UPCs, these are available for patrons to purchase. I want these to go first to the people that were cut, but I mean, I have so many here. I have, like, all these boxes here are 4, and so that's a lot of UPCs. So if you are in the market for a UPC, I think the price of them are 85 bucks, which is still pretty good. And Zach's back to take over and record. But yeah, that's what's kind of going on with the market. The supplies are still selling really well, which is always a good indicator that things are still, like, the market is hot. Like, supplies are the best indicator. And there's no like overprinting or shortages on supplies. They've seemed to hit that perfect ecosystem with it. So yeah, I don't know. It's just really worrisome with Pokemon, with this crap. I knew it was going to happen. Like, against my better judgment, like, I knew this crap was going to happen. And every time I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I did the right thing with Obsidian Flames. I had disappointed a lot of people with Paldea Evolved and Obsidian Flames, because I just decided, just not put anything on back order. Just give me what you have and nothing goes on. But with these suckers, you know, I did kind of get caught up in the, you know, 151 was selling pretty good, and now it's a disaster. So anyway, if you haven't checked out the holiday sale, go check the post on Patreon if you are a member. There are still some screaming deals, and like I mentioned earlier in this video, that is the kind of the $1 million question. Are we ever going to see $60 specialty set draft boosters like Baldur's Gate again? And especially the price increase with play boosters. I don't think it's that significant. From what I look at,
There is 36 packs.
yeah, there's 36 packs, yes. So I read through it more, and Mark Rosewater contradicts himself like 3 times in the same article, where he's like, it's going to be the same price as set boosters. Well, it's going to be a little bit more than set boosters. Well, it's going to be, there's more packs, so you're going to get more, so per pack it's going to be cheaper. So what I'm expecting is I'm thinking it's between 100 to 105. That's what I'm thinking that these new draft boosters are going to be. So it's not a massive price increase. So basically, if stores still want to do, you know, $10 drafts at cost, they can still do $10 drafts at cost at that price point. If they want to put in price support, yeah, it'll probably be like $15. And then, I mean, you could definitely do stores should easily do $20 for, you know, drafts if they just want to use them as little ways to get people in. Speaking of events coming up, everyone excited for this crap? The Crimson Vow dump on Game Store. I still need to do that rant video on it, but I think what we're going to do, we're not going to do how Wizards wants to do it, because screw Wizards, their way of doing stuff is stupid, and it's such a mess. This is one thing that I noticed with Two-Headed Giant. If you get randos, like oftentimes you do, it's hard to actually get people to pair up, because, you know, everyone in gaming is so antisocial that they don't have friends, so they show up in singles, so we have to pair people up when we do Two-Headed Giant, and then it becomes a mess, like, whose cards are what? I want my cards, like, you know, when they're dividing up their cards at the end of the event. I think what we're gonna do is a pre-release kit of Crimson Vow, a pre-release kit of Innistrad, and a collector's booster of Innistrad, and a collector's booster of Crimson Vow. Two-Headed Giant, pair off, play. It might be fun, who knows? And that way, like, after it's done, people can like, oh, okay, so all the Crimson Vow cards are mine, all the Innistrad are mine. I don't know. There's some way they can do it. It's such a mess as a store. All the joys often of playing police or, you know, babysitter with local game stores. But that's what we're gonna do. We'll have to show you the schedule for it. But it still is pretty rough to get people to come in and play anything but Commander. Yeah. Commander's still packed. Our tables are full for Commander night, and people are still building decks, and they're still. The thing is that it's been frustrating, Zach, though, is like almost every list we get in for Commander is like $40, right?
Yeah, it's nothing anymore.
So we used to put like if you ever pulled a Commander deck, it's a lot of work. Like standard decks are easy to do because there's a lot of 4-ofs and it's all in the same, you know, sets, so it's easy to pull cards. Commander is absolute nightmare, and you know, we like to serve our customers, but oftentimes it just doesn't even seem like it's worth our time to pull 100 cards of Commander when you're only getting $40 out of it, because it takes a long
2.5 hours.
Yeah, it takes and we're super organized with how stuff is. Like, that's just going from set to set, looking at the list, and then we come to the problem that I showed in the last video. Is like, oh, well, we got a border list of this. Will they take a border list? And then it's like, then we have to contact the customer. We don't have a normal. The border list is just slightly more, but oftentimes Zach's just giving up and just giving people the same price. It's like whatever the lowest price is, we'll give them all, because it's just not worth it trying to, you know, split hairs.
Well, especially when the difference is negligible. It's like 10, 20 cents.
25 cents on some stuff, yeah. Even like expensive cards, it's like Liliana. I remember the foil was like 15 cents more.
Yeah.
And so at that point,
sometimes the foils have been cheaper.
Yeah, I know. That happens too. So yep. So I don't know. Hopefully these events, like again, my rant video on this sucker is just, this was so half-assed by Wizards. Like, they could have come up with a better thing. And where's the promotion for it? Yeah. Where's like a streamer doing anything? Where's the event? Everything should have a Grand Prix event. Like this should be like, okay, this will be an event in Seattle or something. Yeah. So they should call it the Harvesttide Festival Seattle and have like a big convention around it. Why not? Wizards of the Coast, you have enough cities in the world that you could do events every stinking weekend. You should have an entire team. An entire team that's all they do is run events. Event to event to event to event to event to event to event. Going across the country in different little states and stuff. I don't think that people will get burned out. Even if they're small events. Even if it's like an invite streamer only event or something like that, or something like the Harvesttide Festival would be something that was, I think what they do, they did a community event back in the day. It was like wonky formats and they invited a bunch of people. Like what happened to all of that, Wizards? What happened?
Easy. They're all trying to design cards. There's too many sets coming out.
Yeah, because that's a whole different team.
I know.
That's like the people that are designing should not be running events. That's why events are so crappy, because you have talents that are on different aspects of the spectrum there of what they're good at, And you know, then you put them in. You're like, okay, well, we're gonna make you designer also have part of your responsibility, because Wizards. That's what I've noticed too. If you ever look at their Glassdoor reviews, or if you talk to people at Wizards of the Coast, that's the problem. They hire you for one thing, and they start putting you on different stuff. Like, oh, you're designing cards, but you're also gonna have to, you know, run mail. You're in the mail room, you know, that type of crap. So you have to also answer Twitter and do this. It's just like, so they're just such a crap show of a company that they just can't figure things out to save their lives. But yeah, again, Magic, that's why I'm still thinking it's a great game if they just get their act together and actually do things properly and whatnot. But I've given up on Pokemon. I'm just done with Pokemon. It's such a weird, like, the game will get super hot then super cold, and then it's just I think
and the only thing worth anything is freaking bees.
Well, they're gonna kill Obsidian Flames with the Charizard EX box, because that was the chase card out of Obsidian Flames, and now that's just going to be in every Charizard box. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't have high hopes for Pokemon. I think it's
I haven't ever.
Well, I mean, it went like crazy
for a minute. Yeah.
No, it's done. It's people have done the data. Pokemon has outdone Magic in every aspect. So, but I don't know. This is scary. The amount of crap they're producing. So. And Chloe's done for the day. You done, Chloe? Is Kevin done? Kevin shouldn't wear orange again. So it's because I'm going hunting. I'm going hunting, guys. No, your face is like. Is it just super orangey? With yeah. Yep. Oh well. Are we going hunting later? Yeah. Chloe? Do you want to go get a? Do you want to go get a kitty? Do you want to go get a kitty? That type of hunting? Oh, that'd be scary. We've been stalked by mountain lions up in our walks before. Yeah. That was fun coming back from the snow and seeing the big mountain lion tracks behind us. They like to eat Chloe's. That's their favorite meal. She's just not having it today. Done. Should we go home? All right. Say bye, Chloe. All right. Getting these stuff shipped out. See you guys later.